I'm a big girl, but perfectly healthy. But of course, when people look at me, they assume I have everything. No, I only assume you have diabetes.
You're on your way.
Um, Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as SunnySideUpGal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning. Good morrow. Welcome to my channel. Today we've got two very special guests, Angelyca Unfiltered and Graphically Alex, here with me
See, yes.
to feed you
Hello.
guys.
Hi.
Angelica's just AI, by the way. That's not actually Angelica. If YouTube asks.
Today's episode, we're going to be doing another FatLogic Friday, and I'm going to be doing it with the besties.
Period.
So if you are unfamiliar with FatLogic is a subreddit on Reddit where a lot of people go and they find some ridiculous silliness stuff that the fat acceptance community, says out in the wild on the interwebs, and people crop and screenshot and post them on Reddit for discussion. Also jokes maybe, but mostly discussion or just a daily dose of eye rolling. So I'll read the introduction. FatLogic is anything that deviates from the scientific facts of body weight management. This can range from fundamental misunderstandings of how biology and physics work to lengthy political diatribes about how everything is society's fault. Falling victim to FatLogic means accepting misinformation that will harm efforts to keep your body at a healthy weight or lose weight if you need to do so. So do. What I usually do on when I do FatLogic is I go from new, I go to the top, I click new, there's other options, but I click new because nobody's going to cover them within the last hour or so. Yeah, see, this was from 28 minutes ago. And then we're just going to read and chat and just, discuss. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Always ready, period.
Okay. Thank God I'm not logged in. Otherwise, you guys would have seen what other Reddits I follow.
Ooh, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Robin's talking shit about us on subreddit.
No.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
I'm waiting for that to happen someday. I'm not with Robin, but maybe someone else in this community. That'd be so funny.
Talking junk?
About the other people.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right. So this first one says most I'm active in is our constipation.
Oh my God.
And
right.
Hashimoto's and PCOS. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so the poster says dieting makes you fatter, so just choose fatness. It says think of a chronic dieter in your life, someone you've known for a long time, decades even. Have one? Good. Now think about their body size over the course of the time that you've known them as they've tried weight loss diet after weight loss diet. I bet that you've seen that person lose weight and gain weight, or more likely lose weight and gain more weight back. Time and time again. And depending on where they are in the cycle now, their body might be larger than it's ever been before.
Sounds very Aubrey Gordon.
I was going to say, Aubrey, is that you in there?
What I always wonder is, where do they find this? Where is this?
This looks like it's in a book or on a blog.
Yeah, probably someone's Substack or something. Probably Williams. He's been promoting that lately.
Really? Which is so crazy. And I know, sorry guys, but
oh yeah, that is William. I recognize it. I'm having flashbacks.
Can you hear William's voice?
I'm seeing the jacket. I have it right here.
Oh God.
As a society, we see them as failure of getting fatter.
And you have to do the face.
And then they as a person.
All right. As a society, we see them as a failure for getting fatter, and they as a person see themselves as a failure for getting fatter. Why is fat capitalized?
Because
it's their God.
Their identity. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
William was capitalizing F when he was talking about fat recently.
Yeah, it is him. I'm sure it's him. That's funny.
No, it is William because I've read this on William's Substack. It is William. Dead ass it is. Because William, he pushes a lot of Aubrey Gordon. So Aubrey is his best friend. I'm just kidding. They're not actually best friends, but Aubrey is his queen.
Right.
So he uses her talking points all the time. And then he'll literally cite her. So we were clocking tea with this. But yeah, they capitalize fatter because they identify with fat to that extent that it is now
a proper noun.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So does our government, and so does our medical system. Our medical system goes so far as to eventually reward their efforts to lose weight with a BMI category preceded with the word morbid. We tell these people that their weight will cause them to unalive. M dash. All of this despite them devoting their entire autonomous lives to trying to lose weight. So they start another diet and they gain more weight, and the cycle continues. Let's see here. The fact is, the more you try to lose weight, the more weight you gain. Oh my God.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true at all. That's kind of nuts. If that was the case, if the weight loss industry was so big and that was the case, then everybody would be like it wouldn't be 75% of obese people. It'd be like 100%. All right. This entire cycle is so devastating, not because these people are getting fatter, but because these people are forced into a perpetual feeling of failure. Let's talk about why dieting makes us fatter. And then for my paid subscribers, let's talk about the concept of choosing fatness.
That's how I knew it was William. I was like, that's him. That's his Substack. I'm
gonna search for a Substack and post a little picture when I edit.
It's very chain email logic vibes. It's very like superstitious. So if you try, then it'll get worse. If you do this, if you don't respond to my email, then you will be cursed for 7 years. That's what it sounds like. So you have to be careful of that. That's the old boomer take. But I always have to say for Gen Z, they're like, if you scroll past this TikTok, you'll have bad luck. So it's the same thing.
That's funny.
I just love that there's no other explanation of why that could be happening. It's because diets don't work. It's not because they have an unhealthy relationship with food and exercise. It's not because they eat clean and then downsize and then go back to old ways and then gain it all back. Yeah, like no. It's the diet's fault always. Never anyone's actions, and of course just no accountability for someone's behaviors.
Yeah.
We see the opposite of weight cycling occur in people who are naturally thin. Their whole lives are never pressured to diet. They, for the most part, stay the same weight because their body is never forced into starvation. Oh my God.
Right.
For weight loss, and therefore never has to rebound from that. This makes it all the more frustrating when thin people adopt a position of moral superiority over people who just can't commit to staying thin. They act like people who are in smaller bodies are just yelling out their window, "Hey, you're fat," when they're driving by or something like that. Like, I don't think they act like thin people are just like evil people. I don't think anybody's, you would have to just get to know people more before you can just assume that people are believing that the morally superior. And that's just like a really dumb take. I don't know. That's weird.
Well, like some of my best friends, they've never had like the bad relationship with food or weight, or like they've just been like normal, healthy people like their whole entire life. They've always been a healthy weight and very active. And it's like, my best friend, I've known her since 5th grade. And then my other friend, I've known him since I was 15 years old. They've never once have said anything that made them seem like they believed that they were better than overweight or obese people. They stayed my friend when I was super morbidly obese. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just projection of people that are heavy set or bigger boned. That like they think that I think that it's like, no, they're just regular normal human beings, and they actually probably never have even thought anything close to the way that you do, because they're not messed up in the head like you are.
Yeah. Like, what's the word that people are saying lately? They're like, don't assume something that somebody never said. Don't assume what I didn't say,
Yeah, I agree. And I think that this idea that people are just randomly thin, it's like, no, they don't overconsume. They don't do too much, as I would say. They're keeping it within a reasonable limit, or their life isn't revolving around food to that extent where it's not everything they think about all the time. They're usually not thinking about it too. Whereas the person who's bigger, especially if they have certain mental health issues, they're always thinking about it all the time. And that can be due to like food noise stuff or that kind of stuff, which there's physiological roots to that, but also psychological. Like, you could just be obsessed with food or obsessed with how you look. Most people are not. So if they're just a thin person that never had an issue, they're just not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I think William can even process the idea that somebody could go through life and not think about it.
Yeah, not think about their weight. All right, that's sarcasm, and kudos to any... Oh, okay, so here he is backpedaling and pandering. That's sarcasm, and kudos to any naturally thin people who have the wherewithal to acknowledge that they did nothing to earn it. Oh my god. It's like a what is it? What do they call that? A backhanded compliment, kind of? Like,
Ugh.
you didn't, I don't know. What a privilege to have never been
Oh my
pressured
God.
to carve yourself. The verb carve is important here. On episode 4 of Virgie Tovar's GLP-1 Truth Serum podcast, Dr. Corey Williams uses the word carvation to describe what people on GLP-1s experience when they lose weight through the loss of hunger. Tovar and Williams agree that starvation is a consistent state of calorie deficit.
Sorry.
Any kind of calorie deficit? Like, even if you're cutting out 200 calories?
There's such a stark difference between the two. It's insane.
They're ignoring that you have to be of a certain size to be carving.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of extra stuff going on, then you have some storage.
Yeah, storage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what you really have to be concerned about is your nutrition within that def. So it's like, if your nutrition is trash, you can't store every single nutrient for like months and months and months. But calorically, yes, there's calories on your body. Like, there's a huge difference. I had a lot of issues with people when I was mid, where I was saying I was building muscle in a def, and they were like, that's not possible. And it's like, honey, I have like 50 pounds of fat on me. They're like, you need excess calories to build muscle. I have them on my body. Like, people do not understand. Like, you cannot carve if you're not under what you should be. It's not possible.
Yeah.
You can be kind of trash. You can have bad nutrition.
Yeah.
You can be malnourished.
Right. Malnourished.
But that's a different topic.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to talk about that.
Carved and malnutritioned
They're different.
Different, yeah. Yuck.
Well, because if you talk about malnutrition, then you have to acknowledge that some foods are better than others, and you can't do that because William can't.
You're not allowed to do that.
Because that's, what is it? You're moralizing food choices. So
he's the lamest. I really, really dislike him. I try not to say hate. I just want to rip my hair out when I listen to his voice, and eyes out when I see his face. And that's all I'm gonna say. All right. So here on FatLogic, the judgmental coat. Why are former fats I'm assuming it says effing, worst people on the planet? Why would you think lived experience would give them empathy, but instead it's a pissing contest? They're either...
What?
Yeah, where did that even come from? Oh, you would think lived experience would give them empathy, but instead it's a pissing contest. Oh, okay.
A pissing contest is negative. Like, most people that have downsized are like, hey, you can do this too. Like, they're not talking about how bad they have it. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right. They either don't realize how much they internalize how the world saw them, or they think it's their turn, or some fun combo of both. Never gonna meet someone more fat phobic than a former fat. Okay,
True.
That's true.
And I'm proud.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I mean, there had to be some sense of fat phobia to get to where we are now, because we see it every day. We see people hurt themselves from being in a larger body. So I think people think that this is a irrational fear, but how is it irrational if we have seen the negative from being in an obese body, or have experienced it? I've experienced the negativity from being in an obese body, like medically.
I think it becomes irrational too when we divorce the reality of how it happens. Like, so when we divorce like overconsumption from obesity, that's when it becomes scary, because it's like, oh my God, it could just happen to me. And it's like,
you catch it.
Yeah.
No, honey. Like, it's something that comes at you at the pace of a snail crawling on the sidewalk. Like, this is very obvious. It's obvious when it's happening. It's obvious why it's happening. And people are just like, I just don't even know. Oh my God. And it's like, because you're not paying attention or you're purposely blinding yourself to it, which you have an issue if you're like that blind. Like you probably need psychological intervention.
That reminds me, I don't know if we saw a post or if it was like in the group chat or something like that, but somebody had said something like being obese isn't a choice. And I was thinking in my head, like, I mean, I guess it's not like a conscious choice. Like it's not a conscious choice to choose
always,
to be,
yeah,
not always. But there's always a moment in your life where like, when you're on a weight gain journey or whatever, when you're starting to get like balloon up, there's a moment where you realize, oh, I'm getting bigger, like my stuff's not fitting, or like my joints are hurting, or something negative always kind of happens. And then when you continue to live in the same lifestyle, that's when it becomes a choice. So like, I didn't consciously choose to be obese, but when I started getting migraines and realizing those migraines were from like high blood sugar, and I still ate like an asshole, that was me choosing to be obese, basically, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And too, I feel like it just takes away like the accountability that people have to have when they realize like, oh, like I got myself to this point because of the things that I ate and the lack of movement or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, if it's just magical and mystical, then it's not my fault.
Yeah, if it just came out of thin air or something. Yeah.
And if you have like a severe mental health issue like I did, you can be delusional about what's happening. You know, you can like be unaware or not self-aware of what's going on. But once you start to see cycles and stuff, part of recovery is understanding that you're choosing the coping mechanism and you have to not choose it anymore. And that's what people don't want to hear. And they hate that. But that's still a choice. It's a choice to remain, especially when you're aware. But like you said, for the general person that doesn't have that issue, they know. You can tell you have to change your pants or something. You know, it's that's obvious. Or you're struggling to put your seatbelt on now and you didn't used to before. It's like these are obvious signs. Even if you're not paying attention, it's like it's going to hit you in the face one day where it's like, oh, I don't, especially like the clothes. It's like, oh, I don't fit in this anymore. What's going on? You know?
The clothes just shrank. That's why.
Yeah.
In the dryer.
Yeah. What do they call it? They're like
vanity sizing sucks.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. They're mad that being thinner didn't fix the other issues they had. Being in a smaller body did fix my other issues, madam. I'm a former fat and I'm a pure pleasure. Oh, okay. I think victims of schmushmuse becoming schmushmusers themselves.
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
Shut up.
Lumbee.
No.
Yeah.
How terrible. That's terrible. Okay.
You were the oppressed and now you're the oppressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Jessica Torres.
What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor. And you're okay with that.
Very DIS ordered.
Yeah, super DIS ordered. Also disrespectful. But I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yes. That's true.
It's like they always want to put on some other group into their mess. It's annoying. It's Bootstraps Body Edition, and I fucking hate it. Okay, I don't know what that means.
It basically means that you
pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Like you basically take control of it and like actually downsize or like get it together. And they don't like that. They don't like that it requires effort. And it does. Like downsizing does require effort. So I understand that. You can be upset about it. You can cry about it if you want, but that's the reality. It does. And they're just like, I hate that. I don't know why. I don't understand what they think it should be besides like your own effort. Would they rather the government control you or something? Like what is the counter narrative of that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, it takes effort to do both things.
Well,
to get bigger and downsize.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Okay. Laugh my ass off. All the former fats bringing the not all men vibes to the comments and then defending it with it's not that serious. Actually, Jill, it is that serious. You are actively benefiting the thin privilege, benefiting from thin privilege while pretending that you're not a part of the problem. Someone is jealous. Literally the opposite. Again, really helping my point.
No. That's not helping the point. You do seem jealous and salty.
They just want to live in like a fucking echo chamber. Like if you want to live in an echo chamber, go be on a fucking fat island then. A tay? All right, I'm not a mean person, but all I can understand is as somebody who's been fat my entire life and lost a significant amount of weight, why some former fats can be nasty. The treatment, common
Oh my
decency,
God.
you get from people when you lose weight is insane because nothing about me has changed but my weight. All of a
Oh my
sudden, you're
God.
treating me. Oh, they cut it off. I can understand that. Like, I feel like people find me more approachable now that I'm like in a smaller body. I mean, I'm still obese, but like not 232 pounds obese or whatever. I think people say for us, I feel like we're all a little snarky when it comes to like people living in obese bodies. I think it's because we know that it's bullshit. Like we know that they just make a bunch of excuses for themselves and they're spreading misinformation and harm, and we're not going to tolerate that. And I think it's okay to treat people. First of all, everybody should have respect as like their default, but I think it's okay to call out bullshit, and that's what it is. But they think that calling out bullshit is bullying.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more so the fact that they don't get that they are asserting their worldview onto everybody all the time.
Yeah.
So they act like they're passive, but they're not. They're actually active. So if you say something in response, then you're mean, which is very actually ABUSE-ish.
Yeah,
if you want to talk
manipulative.
about who's being more,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is. If you poke the bear over and over again, and then somebody finally says something back, they're not a bitch because they said something back. I hardly ever am mean to a fat person that's just living their life, but a lot of fat people don't just live their lives. Like, I don't know where that narrative came from. I'm like, we don't see the funny fat friend as much anymore. You see the bitchy fat friend that's jealous and hateful. That's the jealous, hateful fat friend. That's what I see a lot of.
She has a community of fat friends or a community of people who are yes girling her, and she's been lifted up.
Yeah.
And so now she can be a
Yeah.
bitch.
Which
I just think it's a lot about perspective too, because it's like if you go out in public and you're like, oh, everyone's looking at me because I'm fat. Oh, everyone hates me because I'm fat. Oh, everyone's mean to me because I'm fat. It kind of like feeds into your own delusion. So then like when you lose weight, then you're like, oh, like you don't have that like same paranoia, or like you actually are more grounded in reality. So it's like, oh, maybe this person gave me a dirty look at the grocery store because I stink because I just came back from the gym, or like because I'm taking up the whole aisle and like being really annoying. It's not like just because of what you look like. There's other circumstances that like you can, you know, kind of like play with in your mind.
Yeah. Alex, what was the third? What's before bloater? Clicker. I'm thinking back to clickers, like when people are in large bodies and they have that paranoia where they think that like they're kind of like self-centered and they think that everybody's thinking about them or talking about them. And then when you leave that movement, like I used to think that people were staring at me all the time, and now I realize like everybody kind of thinks like everybody else is more like concerned about their own looks as well. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to Walmart and looking at somebody and like judging their outfit at fucking Walmart, right? Like we're not doing that. We're all like we're concerned with our own shit. We're like worrying about our own groceries basket, and you know nobody's shopping around looking for fat people to just give looks to. You know?
No. I mean, if there are people that do that, they're probably incredibly rare. Most of the time, what you're going to have as a fat person is you're ignored. There's more of that, or like a sidelining. It's not so much like, oh my gosh, you're so fat. It's more like
this is not the 90s.
Did you talk to me? You know, it's like people just don't pay attention, which to me, it's like, okay, that's harsh. I get it. Like, especially like I've had the experience of having a thin friend and I'm blown off and they talk to the thin friend or whatever. And it's even just platonically, like not even like in a romantic context. That's happened a lot, but also my friend is super extroverted and I'm super introverted. As a thin person, you're still going to have problems. They might deal with you a second longer, but you got that whole second. That's your big privilege. After that, they're going to be irritated by you because how you look at may attract people, but how you are, it determines who stays and goes. And you have more opportunities for rejection being thin. So they wouldn't be able to handle it. That's probably why they're fat. They don't want to.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, I'm fat and nobody likes you because I'm fat. Now, if I'm not liked, I never thought that anyway. Not for many years. I haven't thought that anyways, but it's like when you're thin or when you get there and somebody doesn't like you, then it's like, oh, it's personal. Then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's me or it's my hair or whatever. I don't know. There's something. It could be anything.
I just go, it's probably because I'm ugly. I'm just kidding.
That too. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I don't think
It's probably because of your voice, Alex.
Yeah, right. Oh, fuck.
But yeah, they would have handled it. They could handle it because you get attention. You get more attention.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's not like, and it's not even that much. Like, I'm relieved being introverted because I thought I would get so much attention the way that they all talked about it. Thank God I don't.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a stank face, then people will still stay away. So you have your ways, you know. I think if you're extroverted, then yeah, people come around and stuff, but I'm not. So it's like, whatever, you know. But I think I was more approached when I was mid, which it was irritating me, actually.
You're more approachable. You're normal.
I was relatable. I was hashtag relatable. I was Bopo relatable. So
you're average. Alabama average. All right. Okay. And then this is, bruh, like, it's crazy. The girls that I know that used to be cool AF and lost weight, and now they're a poster child for annoying stuck-up girl who thinks she's skinny. Who thinks because she's skinny, she owns the world. I swear to God, I feel like they don't live in the same dimension as us. Like, they really think that these people think like this. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. They are terrified that they will be fat again, or no one will ever let them forget being fat, which means that they didn't earn a goddamn thing about being treated that way. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people who have gone from super morbidly obese to like a normal average size, or even like, you know, a normal weight or a healthy weight. I don't think any of us want to forget that we were there. The minute you forget that you were there, that you run the risk of like getting back to there, right? You guys agree? Like getting back to like gaining weight. Like I don't mind being reminded that I used to be super fat, because it kind of shows that I'm making progress and I've bettered myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bettered my body.
Yeah, I just I try not to forget the reality of it, if that makes sense. Like the perspective of like how much I used to consume and, you know, the stuff I used to do and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I try not to forget that, but it's like, I don't always try to remember the emotional quality of it all the time. Like, obviously I do because of my activism. I also think too, like, if you become thin, you have a right to forget if you want, you know, it's like, but you just need to not forget the behaviors, and you need to not forget like the reality of caloric realism, you know, that kind of thing. Because people, they do forget that sometimes. And then that's when you start to upsize again, because you're just kind of, you get super lazy or just like indulgent, or people have a full on, like they go back into an issue, you know, that could happen too. But usually once you leave that kind of issue, you don't go back because you just realize how delusional it is. So most of the time it's like laziness.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, which
I think it's hard to... I think it's hard to forget of like where you come from, especially like if you're someone that's lost a significant amount of weight. It's like I look in the mirror and I can see like loose skin, or like my stretch marks that have healed. I mean, you could still see them because they're there, but they're not like beet red. Yeah. So it's like you still know like where you came from. Yeah. I mean, if you like compare it to money, it's like, yeah, some people can grow up super poor and become a millionaire, and like then they have an ego. And like that can be relevant for like someone that's lost a bunch of weight and like is now super fit. But I think most people are like humble. I feel like everyone in the fat acceptance community just like exaggerates and like makes up these caricatures of like how like groups of people in society function or act, when it's like they're just normal human beings like me and you. Like we are all probably pretty similar to people that are underweight and normal weight and super morbidly obese. Like we're all still fucking human beings. Like we don't like transform into like some other like species.
Yeah, it's not like we evolved to like just a bitchier person. You know, there's always been that person there.
Well, I think too, sometimes there's positive stereotypes of fat people, which they would hate that, but it's true. Like people assume you're nicer if you're fat a lot of the time. And so you could be just as mean and then you lose weight and now all of a sudden you're meaner. And it's like, been the same. I've had that the whole way. People were like, oh, there's some...
Alex is like, I've always been a bitch.
I was like, when I was big, I was just a big bitch. So it's like, okay, like you can be a big bitch or a little bitch, but if you still are kind of that way, it's like, I'm a little bit nicer now. I will be honest. I have changed a little bit, especially this year. And I mean, 2026, like recent, you know, but I've done a lot of spiritual stuff, and that's unrelated to downsizing, to be honest. So it's like, and I mean like meditations and chakra work and all that crap, which, you know, I know that pisses off a lot of people, but I don't care. But it's worked. So you can hate it, but I am nicer now, you know, and I don't feel as bitter and stuff like that. But I think I was just bitter because I just was insecure, but it wasn't even necessarily weight related. It's like, you can be fucking insecure and it cannot have to do with your weight. You know, like they don't even understand that.
Well, that's because they've made being overweight like their entire personality.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree. But
or I feel like when a person loses weight, it's like that one commenter that their perspective on someone has changed. So it's like Alex's situation. It's like, so even if he has lost weight, he's been the same person all along, but like because Alex now presents different since he's downsized, then like people look at him a different way. The same way if you were to see someone that has upsized, like they're still the same human being. I mean, maybe their behaviors or like lifestyle habits are a little different, but they're probably still the same person down in the core.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm a current fat on my way to becoming a former one, I hope. While I agree that many of my FF brethren are literally the worst when it comes to fat shaming people, please know that some of us are too busy just struggling to exist to worry about what everyone else's scale says.
Yeah.
She's that does say that does come off as like not all men, you know. Not all of us are crazy. It sounds like you're projecting today. Does anyone have let me open that up really quick. Does anyone else have the thought, you don't need that? Why are you doing that to yourself when someone morbidly obese is purchasing chips or soda at the convenience store? Do you guys ever think that about people?
I think for me, I think about how some food, like store-bought chips or corporate slop, I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, which
I'll admit when I see and people might hate this, but like sometimes when I see like a bunch of like a mom with like a gaggle of kids and then her entire cart is full of like full sugar sodas and like just a bunch of junk food, I'm like, damn, their teachers are gonna hate you because they're like super hyperactive probably. And I judge people's I know I just said that I wouldn't judge the people's grocery carts, but I have in the past judged people's grocery carts, especially like when I first got into keto. And I was telling Alex this the other day, when I first got into keto, it was kind of like ortho a little bit, where I was just like, so like, I can't eat anything, can't eat any carbs, blah, 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 blah. You know, it was super obsessive. I'm not like that anymore because obviously I have carbs now and then, but yeah. But that's when I would look at people's carts and be like, they have no idea how they're poisoning themselves and blah, 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 and just wild thoughts.
Yeah, but for me, it's not really weight related. Like to me, if somebody has chips and they're thin, I still am like, think about what they're doing that much. I try not to do that because it's not good for my recovery. You know, it's just not a good line of thought because you can't control it. You can't control what other people do. So you should just let it go because it's like you need to focus on your own self, basically. So that's one of my principles that I live by is like, if somebody's going to eat chips, whatever, but I think more about the chips themselves and like I said, how they're corporate slop. And that doesn't really depend on who is eating it. It's still corporate slop, depending, you know what I'm saying?
Still like just a bunch of garbage,
I think
basically.
it's better to have a little bit of it than a lot of it. I think that makes a difference, but it's like, if a thin person was eating like 2 big bags of chips that are like, you know, family size, I would probably feel very similarly than if it was a fat person.
Right,
probably
exactly.
Because it's more about the shitty quality of the food than it is about the person. It's like, but that's where you get into that whole thing where they're like, there's no such thing as a bad food. And it's like, no, there is. Like, there is such a thing as bad food. You know, I do think corporate slop is bad. I do. I think it is meant to make people sick. But it's just convenient and easy. You know, it's like, it's lazy. It's low effort. And especially for me, when I look at chips, it makes me think about, that was my primary gain food. That's how I put on most of my weight, was through chips specifically. So there's probably a little bit of saltiness there if I were to think about it so deep. But it's like, how often is that going to happen? No, it's usually like it. I think I said this. What's one of my videos? It's the Angelyca, damn, you know, and then that's it. You don't think that deeply. It's like just a moment, and then it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, or just like an eyebrow raise, and then you just move on.
Yeah, and then you move on with your life or whatever. Like if somebody ate chips in front of me, I wouldn't give a fuck.
No,
I wouldn't think about it that deep.
I think because like nutrition education or like people just don't really like care, you know, to look or even figure out what's right for them. And then with how much junk food is so, you know, affordable and like readily available, it's hard to hold a lot of judgment because like they don't know any better. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel more judgmental when it's like people constantly posting about it, or like they like Pizza Mom doing her, or it's like if people are trying to monetize off of it, or if they're like sharing their journeys or whatever online, it's like, oh wait, yeah, now I'm gonna judge because you're sitting here putting in all this effort to like post this content, and if it's rage bait, obviously I'm gonna judge. But then if you sit here and act like you're fucking clueless about what's going on in your life, then I'm also going to judge.
Yeah.
Like there's a time and place for like the criticism, and then like the damn moments.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, like there's also, I think a lot of us are somewhat hypocritical too. Like I spent forever talking about Peeps on my channel. That's kind of corporate slop too, you know, but it's a different flavor of it. And it's one that doesn't affect me as much. So it's whatever, you know?
All right. Keep it on going. All right, so this person replies, never, but I'm not a fatphobic asshole. Is this what fatphobic assholes really think about? I was obese. I got a master's in nutrition and have worked with thousands to give them that's wild. To give them the tools to take back their own. I took responsibility for my health. I don't agree with people slowly killing themselves. Love that. Good for you. This makes sense. Nobody is fatphobic than self-righteous for formerly fat morons. God.
Morons.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is going to be fun. As a European, I couldn't help but giggle at this. We've got lots of Europeans in our comment section. So if you're from Europe, please let us know in the comments where you're from and what you think about fat people.
Represent.
I can't wait to read this xenophobia.
All right, fatphobia in Europe is for real going to make me turn into the Joker. God.
They ain't gonna do anything. They're lazy.
Yeah, they're so fucking lazy. Okay, my bike wheel broke.
Okay, so is the bike fatphobic? Is that what we're getting here?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, my bike wheel broke because I'm too heavy and it wasn't built for someone like me. The lady at the repair shop literally asked if I had people riding on the back with me. Oh my God, that would be my 13th reason why.
Hey, it's Hannah. Hannah Baker.
Okay, no, this happened with the last bike I had too before it got stolen and I had to get a new one. My bed broke because I sat on it too hard.
Oh my God.
Is this Amberlyn Reed? Has she ever been to Europe? My bed broke because I sat on it too hard and I weigh too much. The literal metal frame is bent in places. Jeez Louise, lady.
I've been there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was always my biggest, like, even like, you know how I'm sure you guys have felt this too. Like we've all lost weight, but do you guys still kind of feel like you're still big sometimes? Like you feel like
I don't as much. I did a year ago.
Yeah, I still feel like when I was 230 pounds, when I was 220 pounds, like anytime I was about to sit on something new, I would always like test, you know, like, oh, is this gonna hold me up? And I still kind of feel like that now. My biggest fear was like falling through an old floor, like being so big that I fall through the floor, or like I break furniture.
It's awful.
Yeah,
when you
like,
do break. I've broken furniture before. It's so embarrassing. It's horrible.
Oh my God. In front of people?
Oh, it's awful.
That makes me want to cry, actually. I'm so sorry. That's sad.
Oh, I'm fine now. I told you I'm dead inside now. No, I'm an evil, what is it? Former fat now. Evil and horrible, and I feel nothing now. No, but do you see what I mean? Like, you don't have to hold on to the feeling, but I can remember it. You see the difference? That's how I see it.
No lingering.
Yeah.
That was my biggest fear. It's like breaking furniture, like breaking furniture in front of people.
Oh, yeah. It sucks.
I'm sorry.
It really sucks.
All right, every chair in every academic building I have classes in, for real, every single one, creaks when I sit down. Okay, baby, this is a fucking wake-up call,
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of signs
Yeah,
there.
this is a sign that you're a problem. Not you personally, but like the world isn't the
You need to
problem.
do something.
It's not
Yeah.
fat phobia in Europe. All right, these problems don't occur in the U.S. Well, that's because U.S. is where fat.
Home of the fat and free.
Oh my god.
Well, I've had it happen in the US, so what does that make me then?
Wait, what did you say?
I'm the more special
Way
one.
too extra.
I'm the special one then, because it has happened in the US of A.
Yeah.
I've had it happen. Although one of them was IKEA.
It's because you're a patriot.
It's the Swedish's problem.
Fatphobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super European stuff breaks.
Mhm.
Okay. That's why it's got to be American made. All right. Every chair in These problems do not occur in the US. I have exclusively encountered these problems in Europe. I should not have to subject myself to prisoner of war levels of torture just
Oh
to
my God.
exist. Oh my God.
That's so stupid.
That's so
I hope this is satire.
I don't think
I
it
hope
is.
so too.
I really don't think it is. However, the European mind simply cannot fathom a fat person who exists as an equal. I hate it here so much. Then bitch fucking move.
Then don't be there.
Yeah, it sounds like she's there for school. I'm saying they are there for school. So
Well, just,
what an
if you're in
opportunity.
another country, you have to adapt a little bit, diva.
I feel like most people usually lose weight when they like go to Europe or like move there. I can't believe
Not
that
them.
they haven't.
You have to try.
They're a fighter.
Yeah, you have to try. You have to try to like stay fat in Europe, I think, because all their food's fucking way better and it's more walkable and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think some of the food is bad, but it's like they'll find it. If there's any food that's bad there, they'll go to
they're
it.
gonna
They'll
go
be
get
like,
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Yeah, just sitting there
everything
having like
fried.
bonbons
Yeah.
all day or something.
Yeah.
But dude, when I went to Ireland last year, I wanted to try like their candy and stuff like that because I was on vacation. But even the ingredients in their candy is like less
yeah.
numbers of
I'm sure.
ingredients. You know, like even their M&Ms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even their M&Ms looked like better. So this is one of the sanest posts I've ever seen. But isn't fat liberation very focused on consumption? Okay, the sanest. I'm interested. Fat liberation is a scam. Fat liberation isn't selling you anything. I'm begging you people to stop seeing absolutes where there aren't any. Fat liberation is largely about dismantling the absolutes. When we say fat people can be perfectly healthy, some of you hear all fat people are perfectly healthy. When the point is simply that weight and health are not synonymous. It's more complex. I used to be like, yes, sure, you can be fat and be healthy, but I still think that a person in a morbidly obese body, that's not going to ever be healthy. I don't think ever.
Even if you're just class 1, you're having health issues.
Yeah, you've got
with
to.
with just being obese.
Yeah.
Maybe overweight, but you'd have to have a lot of muscle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're really like skinny fat, then you're also unhealthy. So no.
Yeah.
There is like some nuance, but it's not like as fucking nuanced as
yeah.
like these people make it out to be.
And you can be less unhealthy
Yeah.
and more unhealthy. Like if you're huge,
Right.
ooh, yeah,
Mhm,
it's bad.
mhm.
But even class 1 obesity, you're not healthy. Like stop. That's
No.
the Lulu.
Yeah, I'm not
No.
healthy.
No, you're not. I mean, but that doesn't mean that you're so sick that
No,
you're
no,
gonna
no,
like
no,
die
no.
tomorrow.
I'm definitely getting better. So
Yeah.
that's good.
There's nuance. Yeah, like there's a gradient to it.
Mm-hmm. When we say that health looks different for everyone, some of you hear health is completely meaningless, when the point is actually just that it's more complex than either or. Yes, intentional weight loss can be the right path for someone. Look, I have said it. The problem is there's a widespread myth saying it's the right path for everyone, and that's not the case. Okay?
It's not the right path for anyone. Because they could be like, oh yeah, nuance, but it's like, okay, how many people actually believe in that nuance? And what is the content that all these people are consuming online?
Yeah.
it's
I think
true.
what they said that weight loss is not the right path, right? Let me see. The problem is there's a way to-
Intentional.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. When we say health status does not indicate your intrinsic worth and should be irrelevant to how you're treated, some of you apparently hear there's no reason to care about your own health, which is just bananas. Learn better reading comprehension. I think that is. I think there's a lot of people in the fat acceptance community that do say or project that like there's nothing wrong with being unhealthy. Like that chick, Aubrey, I don't
Aubrey Gordon Jr.
Yeah, Aubrey Gordon Jr. That's what,
Hoffer.
yeah, Hoffer. That's what she said. She's like, it's okay to be unhealthy. It's fine to be unhealthy. It's okay. You don't have to worry about like your health, blah, 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 blah. And that's, you know, this person, that's the opposite of what this person's basically saying. There are people out
Well,
there
they,
that say that.
well, and then people in the fat acceptance community have, they have hearing comprehension issues too. Like in my one video where I said like I was leaving the fat acceptance community, I was like, I realized that I can make healthy choices in my life and I can sustainably downsize. And I said, you can too if you want to. If you want to try, you can do it too. It's not impossible. And then the person asked who made a video about me, they said, and Angelyca says that everyone should do this too, and everyone can do it too. And I'm like, okay, all I said was, you can do this too if you try. I'm not like, I'm not being
you're
some
not a
sort of like
recruiter.
dictator. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
Now
just
you
like,
are.
they have issues too.
Now you've turned evil.
Yeah.
But at the time, I agree. It was very, very like low key and very neutral. So
I tried to be, but that's still too much for some people.
yeah. Well, because they enforce it. That's what I try to talk about a lot is how they enforce you. They want you to be big. They
Yeah.
want you to. So it's like, well, then they're not going to let you. So they're not passive. Again, they're active. They're actively pushing. Like this whole thing, when we say health status does not indicate your intrinsic worth, most people don't ever say that. That's only fat activists that say that. I have barely ever heard somebody who's a normal person say somebody is worth less because they're unhealthy. I hardly ever, I don't even know.
I think
You
that
probably,
that would be like a really fucked up thing to say. And I think that people are better than that. Like, I don't think that
I
anybody
mean,
would really
it'd
say
have
that.
to be something on the darkest corners of the internet
Yeah.
or something said in the dead secret of the night type of
Right.
shit. Like people don't say that all the time. That's not that common. It's not common enough to make a statement, like especially an activistic statement, but they assume that. And it's like, that is yourself saying that that people are less worthy if they're unhealthy. That's you. That's a projection because I don't think I've ever felt that way. I think even when I was in the issue deep, I don't even think I felt that way. I think for me, it was just, again, I was a clicker, so I was just selfish and everything. So for me, it was just like, oh my God, I'm so upset that I'm not healthy. That was all it was, which I feel like that's more of a natural thing anyways. Like,
yeah, we're built to survive.
yeah. So it's like, you're going to think about your own lack of health. And then maybe I didn't feel worthy because I wasn't healthy. But that's where, when I first was getting into this, I talk about, I'm like, oh, they're saying things I used to believe. Where did that come from? You know, because I never was an FA, but I would have some of those same beliefs, but they put it all out there. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. But I think I was just introverted, I guess. So I didn't do it. And then also maybe part of it was being male. You just don't talk about things as much. And then some of it was, you just don't want to. I don't know. It's embarrassing. I don't know how they don't have any shame in talking like that.
Dude, I feel like not that people should be shamed so disgustingly to the point where they're like,
Yeah.
you know, leaving society, but I do think that there's a shame shortage.
I think certain things where it's like to say out loud that to be less healthy is to be less worthy. That's kind of embarrassing. Like it's just so bizarre. It's such a bizarre statement.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you see that there's a timer on this?
Is there a timer?
It says your call ends in 2 minutes. Free calls have an hour limit.
Oh shit. Okay. Fat liberation is a political movement based on no absolute claims about health. Literally, the point is that fat people deserve social equality regardless of health status. Health is complex and individual. Health is complex and individual is a full-on fact, but ultimately it's also besides the point. So I feel like a lot of people in the fat acceptance community claim that they are being stripped of rights, and it's like, where?
No.
Where is it? I think the only thing that's hindering them from enjoying a life in everyday society or like fitting in society is just like something that they've done to themselves, which sucks. I mean, that does suck. It would be nice for them to fit on the train or whatever, but at the same time, you can only expect the world to grow so much if you're gaining, you know, so much weight every year. you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I think too, you should be working to normalize and not make it such an issue all the time, not just for other people, but also for yourself. I mean, you're the one that has to deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
It's awful. So, like having to worry about if you're going to break every piece of furniture, for example, that is, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's awful. And you're the one that suffers the most.
Right.
So even if it's purely selfish, it's like, why wouldn't you just work on
work to prevent that
Yeah.
on your own terms?
Right.
You're breaking chairs, not me.
Oh my God.
Chair privilege.
Right? The only absolute in this movement is that fat people are people and worthy of equity and basic respect. That's what you're objecting. Oh, that's what you're objecting to when you say you're against fat liberation. No, I think we all admit that like everybody deserves to be treated like a human being. It's the fact that they're spreading this message, this narrative that like it's okay to be morbidly obese and you don't have to you know, striving for health is ableist, or you know, there's nothing wrong with not being healthy. Some people are just not healthy, but you're not healthy because you ate yourself to that way, you know?
Well, the fat liberation is liberating fat people, making sure fat people have the same laws as everyone else. Okay, well, you have the same laws as everyone else, so there's no campaigning that you need to be doing. So you're talking about, oh, health is individual, and oh, health is so complex, when it's like, okay, well, when you're 600 lbs,
Yeah.
it's not that complex.
Yeah.
You're eating way too much.
Right.
Yeah.
You have issues.
Issues. Okay, so this
Love the font.
Yes, cute. Very cute. All right. Instagram fat acceptance logic in the wild about someone who was overweight as a child. OP had photos of which, of course, are not included. Okay, fat at birth, still fat now. Fat then too. Once fat, always fat, I guess. I feel like that's a sock account. Nobody fucking said that. All right.
I think it's a joke.
Patty 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Yeah.
I've never been particularly skinny. I've been smaller than I am now, and I would love to be back there. But reality right now is I'm sick, and priority number one is being alive to lose the weight. I can't lose weight while my body is fighting for survival. Most people lose weight when their bodies are in survival mode, not my fat ass genes. And once I eat, and I eat once a day because medication takes away my appetite. I eat out of obligation at the P. What's the P? ATP?
At
this point. Oh, I believe you.
Right. Because, yeah, okay.
It's just one huge meal.
Yeah, I eat once a day. It's like 4 pizzas.
Yeah.
100%. It's like the saying, can't judge a book by its cover. People shouldn't comment on a person's weight/size, regardless of where they fall on the scale, as you don't know what they're going through or know the whole story. Just because someone looks a certain way doesn't automatically make them healthy or not healthy. It aggravates me so much as medical professionals do it too. I'm a big girl, but perfectly healthy. But of course, when people look at me, they assume I have everything. No, I only assume you have diabetes.
You're on your way.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I was sick a couple months ago, and it was I was eating out of obligation as well, but it's like I would force myself to have some like yogurt drinks, and then I would like kind of snack on graham crackers throughout the day, because it's like that's all Sorry, I'm trying to watch my language because I got a what I eat a day video taken down for a very stupid reason.
Yeah.
But it's like I knew I had to eat something, and it was just like enough for me to tolerate. I wasn't cooking full meals or anything. And it's like if you are genuinely so sick, you aren't gonna have like a huge appetite.
Yeah.
Unless you have like, I don't know, maybe like hypothyroidism, but that's not like being so sick that you're like stuck in your bed all day. You know what I mean? Like what I'm thinking about, like a common cold, or like someone that's chronically ill and like can't get up off the couch or something.
Yeah, I mean, even with like hypo, you are really tired, especially if it's bad, like if it's severe. But it's like you're still eating a lot, you know, like, to be big. Like you have to.
Yeah,
Which
it's
they
impossible.
try to act like, yeah, I mean, your appetite could be much higher if you're hypo. That's true. You could be a lot hungrier, but that's not even true for everybody with hypo. Some people have less of an appetite. So it depends on different circumstances. But you're still over consuming.
Yeah.
That's my point. And I think they lose that. Even if it's one meal, then you're over consuming in that one meal, which is really easy to do if you are, fasting all day, for example, and you're hypo or you have some issue, then you're going to have a major appetite too.
Or like if you're super short, like you can go to McDonald's and order a meal and it could be over my my maintenance. Like it's easy to go over and COS or CALS.
Yeah,
nowadays because food is so calorically dense.
That's nuanced too. That's also nuanced. Like, so they're only interested in nuance if it excuses being fat.
Yep.
They're never interested in the other side.
Yep. You're right.
Double clocking.
Right. It's almost as if it's genetic. You were born that way, and haters can shove it. I was also fat as a teen and an adult. So are they saying because babies can be born fat that just means that you're fat, that you should be fat the rest of your life? Like, that's dumb. What?
I think that's what they're saying.
That's dumb.
I think that they're going for the weight is genetic thing, which that's we'll just say toxic logic.
Yeah.
It's not based in reality.
I think the only thing that's genetic that I feel about when it comes to weight is just the way that you carry. So like there's this gal at, I think I put her on my channel before. She has like this really big
sorry.
this really big like apron belly, and she said that her entire family like grows apron bellies like that. So I think that's like genetic, but as far as like my grandma was fat, so that means that I have to be fat, doesn't make sense to me. It's not true at all. All right, fat and beautiful and full of energy. As if fat was the worst thing a human could be. No, toxic, malicious, vicious bullies who pick on innocent people for how they look can be how they look are among the worst a human could be.
Oh my god, I was reacting to Thou Shall Not Be Named for my new Patreon, and she was like, people act like being a fat mom's the worst thing that you can do, and then she starts talking about how this like lady left her 3-year-old baby alone with this random guy, and then he like murdered her baby, and I'm like, you're comparing being fat to someone having their child be murdered. Like, just shut up. Like, it's just two fucking different subjects. No, it's not the word. Yeah, being a murderer is worse than being obese. Right. But why is the bar right here down in hell?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she's also shown that her bar is super low, especially when she was talking about how like her significant other like was chatting up hoes or whatever. And she's like, well, at least it's not the same situation as what's that show that she was watching?
Oh, Love After Lockup. She's like, at least my husband's not a felon. I'm like, well, not every felon cheats on their wife, so
yeah. Okay, you weren't though. You were just a child. Some children carry weight differently. What an ignorant comment. Little Leah was perfect. Okay, whatever. Ugh, right. What is STG, guys?
Swear to God.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're so ancient.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't know how I know it.
Because you're more chronically online than I am.
I guess.
Right, yeah, whatever, Miss Reddit.
I'm just as ancient as Robin, basically, so I shouldn't know it.
I swear to God, there's never a day when I'm not reminded by someone, always a stranger, that I'm fat. It's like, duh, tell me something I don't know. And guess what, strangers? My fat was caused by my chronic health conditions, not the other way around. I feel like I want to wear a big sign that says that, so that they'll shut the fuck up. Okay.
Everyone's fat. Like, everyone is fat. They're not going up to people, oh, you're fat. Well, you're fat. We're just pointing fingers at each other all day.
Right. Yeah. Everybody is overweight. So why would anybody come up to another overweight person and be like, wow, you're fat? Like, nope. You're like nope, not happening. Not happening.
Maybe they walk past a mirror. These people. And then I think I'm like, wow, I used to be one of these people.
Me too, Loki. And so when with me, it's like in some ways I was never as bad as them, but then in other ways I was worse. And I'm like, ooh, that's weird.
You think you were worse?
In some ways, yeah. Like in some ways I was even further from reality. But then in other ways, I never was that bad, So it's just weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't an activist in it, but I had the issue. So it's like I believed it. I believed weight loss was impossible. And I said that one time on my channel and they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I dead ass believed it was impossible.
Me too.
I never believed that it was impossible, but I had gotten to the point where I was like, this is like the whole set point thing. I've gotten there where I was like, this is just who I am. This is just my body. I'm not supposed to be fat. So,
We love set point theory.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So that is our FatLogic Friday. I hope that you enjoyed us. I hope you guys had a good time as well. And
of course.
Let us know
I hope
in the
you
comments.
enjoyed us being horrible, mean former fats.
Being bullies together. We better be careful. Let us know in the comments what take you think was the worst / best, and then let me know if you've heard any other really weird FatLogic takes in the wild, because I love tea. What should we emoji, you guys?
Pink flowers.
If you made it all the way to this part of the movie, nope. If you made it all the way to the end, please leave us pink flowers in the comments, because it is spring and we are springing.
We are butterflies and sunshine and rainbows, and we only speak love and light.
We're only nice people. Yes, we're only nice. Okay.
I can't do that.
Skinny. No, it doesn't. Okay.
I can't do that. I'm not coordinated enough.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate our friendship.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Diva.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Alex, sorry I cut your face off. Bye.